Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, June 17th, I believe it is. My watch is not cooperating today, but yeah, I believe it's June 17th. Yep, Tuesday, June 17th. Hope everyone's doing well. The topic I wanted to discuss today, it was a pretty general topic, but it's just something that's been coming up and that's been more apparent or clearer to me lately. So I listened to a podcast, Jay Shetty podcast, and he had Mel Robbins on it. This was actually sent by my cousin, Diori, a while back, and then I re-listened to it, and then I listened to one of his recent episodes, and he had a clip from hers, and it's the podcast, or the title of it was Let Them. So initially when I was listening to it, I'm like, is this empowering ourselves, or is this empowering the other person by us letting them do what it is that they're gonna do, or that they're doing to us, or harming us, or hurting us, or doing with their life that we think they can do otherwise or better. So the topic, or those two words, let them, is basically just saying to allow the person be who they are. Allow them to show themselves, their true colors, and just get to a point in your life where you allow it not to bother you, or to affect you, or interfere with your life. So the way this came up, or how it's been coming up, is mainly with my son. My 18-year-old son is graduating high school and going into college, and he is very different from me in terms of, I like to get things done now. Like, if I could have done it yesterday, I would have done it yesterday. Like, now. My son is a procrastinator, or that's what I feel. I feel that he waits, and he waits to the last minute. He knows how to work the system. Where I like to overdo, he will do the minimum to get by. And I never understood this mentality. Like, why are you like this? Like, why are you doing this? And he's a super smart kid. Every college he applied to 8 colleges. He got into all of them. So he was able to make a choice of where he wanted to go. But I'm not going to lie, I was stressing out. I'm like, is he going to get in? Is he not going to get in? He's waiting for the last minute. They're going to get full. And he did. I mean, he got into every single one of them. That being said, I feel like things are presented to you or come to you at certain times in your life when it's pertinent to you. So I was listening to another podcast by Jay Shetty, and he was interviewing Steve Jobs. Yes, he was it Steve Jobs? No, he was interviewing Bill Gates. They made references to Steve Jobs several times there, but no, he was interviewing Bill Gates. And as Bill Gates is speaking, he is this intelligent, articulate, very educated man, very successful. And as he's speaking, he's describing himself when he was younger, in middle school, high school. I believe high school he was describing himself. And I was like, oh my God, he sounds like my son. He sounds like Andres. And not to say that he sounded like a procrastinator, like this, like that. No. Just a lot of characteristics and attributes that he has, or things that he did, or his mindset, or his thought, or his learning, his way of learning was on point with my son. And I was like, oh my God, like, my son really is a smart kid, and I'm really trying to fit him in this box that the world is trying to fit everyone in, and he doesn't fit in this box. And it brought me back to his kindergarten teacher, who I will never forget, told me, and is the first person that told me that about my son. He was 4 years old. He was in kindergarten. And she said to me in our parent-teacher conference, she said, I want you to understand that your son is very, very intelligent. She said, and he does not fit in the box of this academic world. So don't expect him to fit in this box. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he needs to fit in the box. He needs to do what he has to do. Like, he needs to go with the flow. Because that's something my parents always used to say, like, blend in. We don't belong here, blend in. And I didn't like that because I didn't want to blend in, but I also didn't want to stand out, which is very weird. Like, I wanted to be me, but I didn't want to blend in to be who everyone else was. But I also did not want to stick out or stand out in the crowd. So it's, I don't know how to explain it, but that's who I've always wanted to be. I want to be me, but I don't want to stand out. And I feel like my son is the same way. He wants to be himself. He doesn't like to be pushed. But he doesn't want to stand out either. He's okay with being himself and being confident in who he is. So when this teacher said that to me, like, he doesn't fit in the box, like, be patient, he's super smart, he's going to get ahead in life, he's going to be someone very successful, but it's going to be difficult. And it was very, very hard. And I looked for help. I got him tested. I tried everything I could to help him. And it was a struggle. And then he got to the point where everything clicked and he took off and he did so well. But then he's also the type of person that when he doesn't agree with something, if he doesn't believe in it, like, he shuts down and he just will not perform. You know, he gets an assignment. I don't believe in that. I'm not doing it. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, you just need this assignment to pass a class and keep it moving. But he's just stubborn like that. He's not. I don't believe in this. I don't agree with it. And that's when we have to deviate and be like, okay, so speak to the teacher and explain that you don't agree with this topic and pick another topic. Anyway, so throughout my son's education and academic life, he's been super smart. He is an honor roll kid, exceeds at what he does, and it just seems like he does have to work harder for certain things. Like, language arts is difficult for him, reading and writing, but math, it's like natural. Like, I don't understand. He just knows it. Like, his brain works well with numbers. Now, you make him write an essay or read something, it's going to take him time. He'll do it. He'll be successful at it, but it will take him time. So I'm that type of person. I am very, very hard to get things by reading them. Math I'm good at, but reading and writing, it's also difficult for me. So I guess he gets that from me. Anyway, fast forward, and, you know, school stuff, college stuff, he's a senior, he's getting to the end, and he's like missing assignments here, missing this there. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you, like, this is the end. What's happening? And I spoke to his like counselor, case manager, his teachers, and they're funny because I was like, you guys don't reach out. Like, why don't you guys tell me when things are missing, when things are happening? And the teachers are like, well, Andres is very smart. Like, he's a smart, respectful, good kid. Like, he's just a good kid. Everyone loves him because he's a good kid. And they're like, we know he knows what he has to do. They're like, but he also knows how to work the system. So he knows that if he misses these 2 assignments, but he got hundreds on these other assignments, he's still going to pass the class. So he's going to graduate. It's not that he's not going to graduate. He just knows how to work the system. And in my mind, I'm like, why are you working the system? Just keep your grades up. Like, what are you doing? You know, I don't get it. So let them comes into play. Let him do him, be him. It's his life, it's not my life. I'm letting it stress me out, freak me out, drive me insane. I start second guessing myself. Am I a bad parent? I'm not doing good. You know, I'm letting him down. I'm not pushing him enough. I'm not, you know, and then it discourages you to think, am I doing a bad job with my other 2 kids? Like, what is going on? Yet he is a totally different child. He is a totally different person. And I have to allow him to be who he is. So fast forward, I went to get a massage. The massage was for my mom, actually, but then she had to go into the city, do some stuff. So she's like, you take it for you or cancel it. So I decided, you know what, let me take the massage. So I took the massages with this therapist who he's great. He was my massage therapist forever. Then my mom met him and took him from me. So anyway, I met with him. He's very spiritual, very, very nice man who can like talk to you about life, and I don't know, we just click. So he knows about my son and his life and my life and, you know, my family, my mom, my dad, etc. So we start talking, and I start talking to him about my son and, you know, how I'm stressed out because of this and that, and I even mentioned this podcast that I listened to, and Bill Gates has a lot of attributes that my son has, and then he goes into, you know what, your son is a creative. He is a type of person that he's very creative, and unless it's something that he's interested in, he's gonna shut down. Like, no one is gonna force him to do something that he's not interested in. Opposed to me, I'll do things that I don't want to do or I'm not interested in because I got to do it. Like, that's part of life. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, this is part of life. He has to do things he doesn't want to do. And he's like, yeah, some people do that. And he was speaking from his experience, because he says, I am very similar to your son's personality. I am a creative person. I am not a person that can go into an office and work 9 to 5. You know, it's just not who I am. I'm not gonna be successful, and neither is gonna be the company or whoever I'm working for. So he started talking about it, and he started describing himself, and essentially he was describing my son. And I thought, wow, you know, you're right. And then I started connecting things, because I'm like, why doesn't he just, you know, go into college and do business administration, and then he can work for the family business, etc. And no, my son wants to be a film, movie producer, director, I don't know. And I'm like, seriously, like, where does this come from? Like, no one in our family or in our surroundings knows about movies and films or photography. Like, what are you talking about? So on Friday, we had my daughter's concert, and I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm sorry. It's just that everything is like connecting, and I felt like I had like an aha moment. On Friday, my daughter had her concert. So, and also on Friday, and she's in elementary school. She's in 1st grade. Her concert was at 10:15. I wanted to be at the school by 9:30. My son, the same day, he had elementary and middle school visits. So since he's a senior, the seniors were going to the elementary schools and middle schools that they attended to visit their teachers and the school, etc. So my son was going to Parkway, the school that my daughter's in. So I said, okay, you know, what would be the odds that we are there at the same time? As I pull up at like 9:40, I see a big bus in the front, and I was like, oh my God, this must be the high school bus. The seniors must be here. So I dropped my mom at the front. I went with my mom early. My husband was going to come later. I drop her at the front so she can form the line, because the line had already formed. And I go park. When I come back up, I see a table set up. This woman was there with this child, and I went up and I said, hey, is that bus the seniors bus by any chance? And she said, yeah, they actually are here. They just got here 10 minutes ago. And I'm thinking, oh my God, if I would have gotten here 9:30, I would have seen him exit the bus. Whatever. Anyway, and mind you, I had already emailed the school, emailed his kindergarten teacher. Hey, if it's possible, please try to get a picture of my 1st grader with my son, the senior, etc. So we had like all that program to try to get at least a picture of them together. All right, then as I'm there, I see the high schoolers exiting the gym, which I can see it from where I am in line. So I go up to the door, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna see him, but the doors are closed. This grandma was in line of one of the girls in my daughter's grade, and she works for the school. So she like opened the door and said, yell his name, but I didn't see him. So I'm like, I don't see him. Did he come? Is he here? Etc. Then the kindergarten teacher comes out, and I'm like, hey, did he come? And she's like, yeah, I took care of it. Don't worry. They're together, etc. Right there, my son comes out and my daughter. So it was great. So I start taking pictures, and then the woman holding the door says, go in. So I go in, take pictures of them, take a picture with me, etc. It was just emotional, very, very, very good moment. Fast forward, I learned that they got a letter that they wrote to themselves. I still haven't read that letter. But they also got a poster of their yearbook picture when they were in 4th grade. And on there, they wrote things about themselves and their family and their pictures, etc. So the top thing that my son wrote, that said, "Tell me something about yourself," it was, "I enjoy watching movie trailers on YouTube on my iPad." And I'm thinking, when I think back of my son graduating 4th grade, I think of a boy that knew everything about dinosaurs, loved animals. I thought he was going to be a veterinarian because he was all about the animals. Where I thought he was going to work at a zoo. And then I read this and I'm like, oh my God, like he knew back then. He loved movies and he was watching movie trailers in 4th grade, or who knows for how long, which he still does, because I hear him, and he goes to the movies all the time and he watches all these crazy things, movies and sitcoms and shows and clips. So I'm like, wow, even back then he knew that he had this interest. And I guess I was just so blinded, or I was focused on what I wanted him to do, or what I thought he should do. Oh, he likes animals, be a vet. Oh, he likes animals, work in a zoo. Oh, like he loves dinosaurs, he knows this, he knows that. But I wasn't paying attention to what he enjoyed. Like he loved Pokemon, but that's what he wrote. And I even said to him, I said, wow, Andres, since back then you had this interest in movies and what you're actually interested in going to college for. So I'm learning that I need to let him do his thing, make mistakes. And I do, trust me. There are times that I know he's going to fail in something and I let it go. And let him fail, and I say, this is life, everything is not perfect. The other day he got a flat tire. His tire bursted, or his rim dented. He called us. A car like cut him off, and he swerved to the right and he hit the curb, what we thought was the curb, and his tire just popped. So he had to pull over and immediately pick me up. Someone pick me up. Who's gonna come? And we were like, no, you gotta be patient, relax, you gotta wait. We had to call roadside assistance, etc. He was there for like 2 hours. Initially he was upset because that's his personality, like getting annoyed and upset, and someone pick me up and someone come here and I have to be here by myself. This is unacceptable, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I talked him through it. Like, hey, this is life. This happens. Like, you need to understand that this is not the first or the last time something difficult is going to happen to you. I even said there have been times that this happened to me in Brooklyn and Manhattan, in the rain and the pitch dark at night, and I had to handle it, so relax, breathe, and wait. So I had to let him flip out, and then I had to let him calm down. So I'm learning to let him. But that was just something I would say minor, which wasn't so minor, because when I saw the car and then he explained the situation, it really scared me. And I really truly feel like he has someone protecting him, because he went back and he saw that what he hit when he swerved was actually the drain, the metal drain. And then I drove by there and I saw as well. So he was able to maneuver the vehicle in a way that he didn't hit any other car or the car that almost hit him. So I was very proud of that. But anyway, I have to let him. I have to let him be him, make his choices. Some things he's gonna fail at, some things he's gonna succeed in, some things he's gonna surprise me, and I'm gonna be like, wow, he knows what he was talking about. But sometimes he's overly confident and he thinks he knows everything, and I'm like, Andres, that's not how it is, Or, okay, you think you know it all? Good for you. You'll see at the end. But I feel that a lot of things just fell into play and fell in line and helped me realize, wow, I have my mindset on a certain thing or a certain way for him, and that's not life. You know, I'm also trying to make him be or do something that may not be what's his passion or what's his love or what he wants to do. So I have to let him make his choices, which I am. He wants to sleep at college for the first year, which is about 25 to 30 minutes from my house. And that was hard, but you know what? I'm going to let him, because he needs some independence. He needs to grow up. He needs to see exactly what we all do for him, his family. And let him grow, move, and progress. And who knows, he may shock us. He may shock us with how well he does. So I am going to let him and let my children be themselves, be who they want to be. And I'm just going to support them. I'll be there to support them and kind of walk them off the edge when they're flipping out, like he was flipping out when his tire bursted. And I'll support them when they succeed and do well. And I'm going to let them grow, let them be, and let them prosper in whatever it is that their heart desires. So that was my topic, I guess. It's let them choose, and try not to let it affect me so much, because it's very stressful. That's it. All right, let's make it a successful one. I went a little over, but I wanted to get some of these things in there. So let's make it a good day, make it a productive one, and enjoy. And let's let them be who they want to be and show their true colors. And we let ourselves handle it in our way and be true to ourselves as well. All right, take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.